Hey my Crustacean crew, I'm back again to give you a fluff, fillerish kind of video because I'll be honest, I'm running out of motivation to make videos. I'm gonna rank every single My Singing Monsters Island from worst to best, in my opinion, so please respect it. Let me just clarify, I know jack about music theory, I'm just going off my enjoyment and how much I enjoy the sounds on the island. I won't count islands with no music like the Coliseum or Composer Island, and I am counting Dawn of Fire islands as well. No more stalling.
Come on, let's go! Disappointment in the game of life!
I don't know, something about Seasonal Shanty just doesn't strike a chord with me. I don't outright hate it. There are a couple really shining moments, like the entirety of Schmoochle's tracks, when Gobbledygord harmonizes with Munculus, and the ending with Boocorn, Whizbang, the castle bass, fiddle, and spirit. That's pretty cool sounding, but otherwise it's just too goofy? The part where Punkleton whispers his racial beliefs is kind of boring and goes on too long, even with the admittedly cool-sounding booms with Whizbang and Caroline, but as I said, I don't really know jack about music theories, so I can't fully explain as to why this song doesn't tickle my fancy, but yeah, Shanty's at the bottom unfortunately, even with the good parts.
How do we know it's an ice age?
Because of all the ice!
Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Cold Island. To me, personally, it sounds too cluttered and the tempo's too steady, and not in a good way. Don't get me wrong, the percussion sounds good, especially Deej. She sounds so drippy on this island, and the epic Wubbox, as blaring as it is, sounds cool. And I especially adore Strombonin, and I love how it goes with Furcorn at the last part of the song, but I don't like Yule. Honestly, never did. He's too goofy and doesn't really fit. Neither does Grumpire. He barely adds to the song, and he's way better in Ethereal Island. Don't like the Wordos either. Their lyrics are as cheesy as ever, and yes, I've seen wannabe edgy kids unironically use them in their emotional My Singing Monsters edits. I hate to be that guy, but do better. I do really like how Rare Wubbox goes with Deej. I like Deej himself, as I've said previously, but otherwise, sure, they all keep a consistent beat, but again, something about it to me just sounds too cluttered. Sorry, Cold Island fans.
Put your hands in the air and move with the sound to the earthquake.
The hottest take of this entire video, I'm fully aware, but let me explain myself. There are some great parts, and some parts are weird to me. Fun fact, did you know that this island is the only island that comes from another game? No joke, it's from Big Blue Bubble's very own game, Thumpies. Yes, the Thumpies had their own game, the monster bio does not lie. I may review it sometime soon, I don't know, who knows, definitely not me, the creator of this video. Anyways, yeah, the name of the level is called Ethereal. And yeah, I can totally hear it. To me, the problem is that Earth Island is just too overplayed, overrated, and just some parts don't sound very good to me in my opinion. I really love how Potbelly and Reedling go together in the intro. Sounds great. Once again, I don't like the Wordos. Listen, I know they're supposed to be cheesy, but they're too cheesy here, you got me? And I got the same feeling that adults get when listening to Let It Go, Baby Shark, or God forbid, The Scuttlebutt. It's played too much and it loses its luster. Even so, there are some parts that sound really good. I love Hehehe on this island's epic Wubbox, especially Humbug, even though you can barely hear him, which is a shame. Oh yeah, the Dipsters are cool here too. Yeah, that's about it. Every time I hear it, I just roll my eyes, collect the coins from the monsters, and move on. Sorry, but not really.
It's made of gold!
I'm sorry, guys. While I do respect this island, and yes, it is pretty great, I just think it's alright, at least in terms of the other islands. The epic Wubbox sounds pretty damn good, but I just wish it was louder and I played a couple of its phases longer, like Air. I do know that this track is based on a classical piece of music, which I think is pretty cool. Doesn't really save this one, though. I don't know. Well, it does sound very melancholy and nostalgic, because this was supposed to be the last island in the game. It just doesn't strike a chord with me like the other islands. I don't know, man. It sounds a bit boring, I hate to say. Admittedly, this island has amazing sounding monsters like Furcorn. He never disappoints. Deej, I love how unique he sounds. Sugarbush sounds heavenly, even though he's not in the soundtrack because of copyright reasons. I love how Hula and Pom Pom duet on every single island that they're on. Jamboree sounds nice. Epic Wubbox, again, sounds great, if quiet. And of course, that last part is iconic. Chorister, Rare Wubbox, Cybop, Riff, Quibble, Scups, Pummel, Shellbeat, Punkleton, and Bogart all sound phenomenal together, but yeah, something about this island. Again, it's great, one might even say good, but not one I return to, unfortunately.
I'm the light bringer!
Before the Fire expansion update came out, this is the second worst island on the list. I'm serious. And after said update came out, I genuinely really love this island, and I mean a lot now. I was never a fan of this island's repetition and droning sounds. Kana! I always felt like this island was missing something, you know? But now, this is a wonderful, beautiful, and cozy island with a great song. I'll admit, it's not a banger unlike all the other islands in the franchise, but I can get past that when almost every monster here sounds jaw-dropping and makes this entire island sound like a fireworks show. And yes, I know the whiz-bang is on this island, but you know what I mean. These fire monsters really added a ton to this island and really helped makes it pop. Tiawa adds so much, and it sounds like a tropical resort or even a warm hug. Yelmet, and especially Dromedary, helped to add some phenomenal percussion that works wonders with Whizbang, Fiddleman, Sousa, Flower, Bulbo, and Spytrap. What can I say? This island just makes me feel all warm inside and puts a smile on my face, and it's wonderful hearing how far it's come. This is probably the biggest glow up for any island ever, and I'm proud to finally say that I'm now a fan of Light Island. Huzzah indeed. I understand that Mythical Island just finished, but this one is, I don't know, weird. I enjoy it quite a lot, actually. There is a lot to like here, but to me, it's weird because, well, in certain parts, it disappoints me. You got 4 separate parts, all completely different from the other. Started with the first one. It's iconic, with Catalyst, Gajoob, Yostrich, Pinghound, yeah, and Strombonin, all playing a wonderful and truly magical sound. Then comes the part I'm not the biggest fan of. Then comes in Crunchy, Bleatnik, Weasel, and Sporo, with the newest edition of Nerve. It feels empty. It still does, even with Nerve. Really does not help with Crunchy seems to insist me to pull out a certain adult toy over and over. Alright, listen, Big Blue Bubble, no matter how many times he changes track, it'll always sound naughty. I'm sorry. Although both Sporo and Weasel sound really awesome, and yes, even with the addition of Nerve, it still sadly feels empty to me, even though his design and sound are both great. Then comes the third part, parts 1 and 2 combine, and the added extras of Anglo and Abomination, which helps the intensity and rhythm. Oh yeah. Finally plays. This sounds kick-ass. I like it a lot, although for some missed potential, I heard this with the unused Crunchyverse and it sounds a lot better. Please, for the love of Dave Kerr Almighty, Big Blue Bubble, put this in the full thing. It really puts a musical bow on the entire thing. Oh, yeah, I forgot he's on the soundtrack, but you know what I mean. Plus, you can barely hear him on there. Oh, I forgot to mention how heavenly sounds during this part. It truly is one of the greatest highlights on this island. Then comes my personal favorite part of this island, the part that gives me chills every time. The part where Cherubble comes in. Bleatnik here makes me transcend into the heavens. It's phenomenal. I love everything about this part, from when Anglo starts off calm and then intensifies, how Hehehe doesn't laugh and keeps that serene nature of this part intact, the booming sounds of Sparrow, man, I could go on, it's that good. Then the song starts again. You know, with me praising this island so much, you might ask yourself, why does List of Crabs 55 put Mythical Island so low on the list? It's pretty simple. As much as I adore it and its parts shine, keyword most. It's not consistent enough for me, I really hate to say. I really love this island, I really do. But if it were just a tad bit more energetic during the parts where it needs, this will surely skyrocket up the list, believe me. Oh yeah, one more thing. Pull up the door!
Prepare for sex party. Party!
It's my party!
Here's another hot take. I actually enjoy Party Island. Weird to hear, I know, but let me explain. It's got multiple parts, and they're pretty good. What I really like about this island are both the vocals and the percussion. Damn, this percussion is awesome. Ziggurat, Edamimi, Noggin, Shrub, T-Rocks, even Scups. They all work together so well, and it makes this island pop and boom. I really love it. I love how unique Stog sounds on this island. It's an interesting sound, and it makes this island stand out. To the vocals, now sure, hearing "Come on over here" is kind of repetitive and a bit grindy, but once again, wonderful harmonization. It really flows. Also, Pom Pom on this part is goddamn terrifying. I really love the addition of Chorister, even though it's weird. I want him to be on Cave Island, but oh well. It adds into the feeling of harmonization with the whole choir idea. My favorite part of this island is where you can actually hear Candelabra, unlike in most islands, with her part being really good. And Mon, that part, adds to the harmony. Really great stuff. I miss when this island was called Vacation Island. Really sounds better. This ain't no party. Anyways, yeah, I actually enjoyed this island way more than I thought I originally did.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
I love the chill vibe this island gives off. It's pretty wonderful. Let me reinstate. Just because most islands are at the bottom, it doesn't mean they are bad or awful in any way. I can see redeeming qualities to them, and this is no exception. I adore the Wordos on this island. Their harmonization is top-notch, and I can't get enough of them. I also can't get enough of Geode. She's an awesome monster from one of my favorite elements in the game, with an equally awesome Celestial. I adore her chiming bell sound, and I always did, even as a kid. Anglo sounds badass. I really love how it goes with Quibble. Shellbeat not only has an awesome design, but also adds so much life to the island. Scup sounds cool too. Really like the moist sound he adds to this island. And as much as I adore Pummel, he adds great rhythm. He sadly can't really be heard. Normally. The Dipsters sound great. Dandy-Doo, Flog, and Toe Jam are all iconic on this island. Now to what I'm not the biggest fan of. As much as I adore the serene nature of this island, some parts just blare on your ears and kind of ruins it for me. It's the whole tonal whiplash aspect that I'm not a big fan of. You guys.
Fire! Fire!
Ooh, now we're finally getting to the Fire Islands. This island slaps. It keeps the fiery energy throughout the whole thing, minus a couple of parts, and it sounds really unique and cool. Stog is always awesome to hear. Flugel sounds magnificent, as so does Kana. Also, side note, so glad they changed Kana into a lady instead of Kano. More female monster representation, please. Potbelly on Haven sounds awesome. The newly added Candelabra sounds great, even though they use a different synth-voiced VST for her on this island for some reason. I can't get enough of Rampatillo, and to top it all off, I don't really like Gobblegord or the Wubbox, even though on its own it sounds kick-ass. This island is awesome. It really is, man, but I don't know. It feels like one of the more forgettable islands. Don't get me wrong, it's really damn good, but I think it's the theming of it all. For Party Island, I can remember the reputation of the island itself, the fact that it's literally an island and how it's on top of a goofy-odd creature, the aesthetics of Cloud Island and Starhenge, and the songs of the Continent and Cave Island, but man, it's too space-like. I know that sounds like nitpicking, and it is, but I don't know. Another gripe I have for this island is that not only is it on the repetitive side, but during the chorus, it's very cluttered. You're gonna place a couple monsters and put them on different islands, like, I don't know, Rudy Toot on Cave Island or Toe Jammer on Cloud. Also, I think Pom Pom is kind of unnecessary on this island. Otherwise, yeah, it's a banger. Speaking of this chorus, it's magnificent either way. It genuinely sounds like a Mario Galaxy soundtrack. Pummel works wonders for transitions, and isn't it sad that this island is like one of the only ones that you can clearly hear him in? What a shame. Anyways, I adore how Stog plays throughout the entire thing, just like Bone Island. Speaking of Stog, some of his tracks sound way more different and unique compared to the rest of the tracks in the entire franchise, and it just sounds so spacey. Speaking of spacey, Sponge fits so well and sounds like a theremin in this island, and I can't get enough of him. It's not an insult at all, I really love it. Candelabra is wonderful on this island, as well as the rest of the Dawn of Fire, and never again in the franchise, let's be honest. Furcorn sounds great, as well as the killer performance by Bogart. Oh, Bogart, my beloved, you add to any island. I never thought that Rapatillo would fit on this island, but damn does he. What an awesome beat. I forgot to mention how not only Snizer is an amazing castle base for this island has the best side bop in the entire franchise, not to mention his entire part with Kongal and Deej. So yeah, this island, despite its flaws, is amazing, and I come back to it every so often.
Monster.
This is another Dawn of Fire outer island that, at first, I didn't really care for much about, but now I'm starting to like more and more. The reason I didn't like it all too much is that it didn't have any sense of progression. This kind of started with its tiny intro, then just put a bunch of monsters all at once, making this island feel very jumbled. And while I still feel that way, I'll have to admit, it grew on me. It really grew on me. I really love how epic this feels compared to the other islands. It really makes me feel like I'm going on a spelunking adventure. I adore the booming presence of Shellbeat here, the perfect duet with Yelmid and Glowl, Riff, Wink sounding great here and never again. We'll get to that later on. Quibble filling in the gaps, Bisonoris and Krillby sounding wonderful, Mimic also sounding great with Flog. Oh, and also Flugel and Bogart, my beloveds. There isn't much else to say except for this. I'll put a link to my preferred version on this island made by Furcorn Nick. He fixed the lack of progression problem I had with this island and made it phenomenal to listen to. But sadly, this isn't in the game version, so...
saying?
Now, I know what all you Bone Island stands may be thinking. No, I don't hate this island. I quite enjoy it. Now, am I as head over heels in love with this island as other people? No, not really. I think it has a couple problems, but I can look past that to say that it's still a bop. Stog is phenomenal as he plays throughout the entire song, and all the new Bone Island monsters are pretty good, like Banjaw, Wither, Uduk, Hollow, and Bekid. The percussion on this island is pretty fun. All the aforementioned percussionists are great, as well as Clacula, Noggin, Clavivera, and especially Incisor. I think this island redeemed him for me. Gnarls is a very unexpected choice for this island, but he does great. He helps to fill in the monotony this island can have, as well as Flummox. That's the problem for me. This island, while fun to listen to, has not only a monster or two I'm not a fan of, it also has a bit of a monotony problem. Some parts are a bit too long and I can't explain it. Once again, please don't hate me for this, it's my opinion after all. Fun island, moving on.
Celestial babies.
Now, I put this island above Bone Island for one good reason. To me, in my humble opinion, please Bone Island stands, leave me alone. Celestial Island is Bone Island, but better.
You what?
I know what you might think. Mr. Krabs55, everyone kinda hates this island. What makes you like it so much? First off, calm your ass down. Secondly, I don't know, I just like the vibe of it. And it being so much more energetic and fun. I know it's repetitive, I know. In my opinion, way more repetitive than Bone. And yes, I sound like a hypocrite, but damn it, I love the percussions and the vocals so much. Plexi, Syncopite, and Ludwig carry. The combo of Atmos sounds great. Tort is an amazingly deep beat. Leisure sounds awesome, as well as the iconic duo of Vamp and Galvana, and I really love Furnos. I don't know, this island sounds so awesome to me, like a celebration. I mean, I know that the Celestials have been reborn and all, and so I understand why they're also happy, and yes, I know there is so much missed potential with Celestials here, specifically Blasum and Skiritar, which are both the best Starhenge Celestials. Oh well, stay low Banger Island, especially when slowed down. What can I say? A pretty great cover of Christian Bush's Love or Money, and a fun island to listen to. I usually hate country, but I like this island. I don't have a lot to say other than, if you like this island, you'll probably also like Sugar Bush. You'll probably also like Love or Money. Oh yeah, I forgot. That one verse with no drums and all Sugar Vox and the rest of the Sugar Gang with guitars is my favorite part. Alright, this island slaps. It's pretty damn good, but there are flaws. First and foremost, wink. Need I go on? And some parts feel a bit too empty. Just a tiny bit, but they feel sufficient enough for me to jam out to them. And I feel like some monsters play too little, like Bowhead, Fangler, and especially Thremble and Sizer. I forgot he's usually here, to be honest. And Candelabra. Also, I think Pong Ping is kind of unnecessary here. But otherwise, a total bop. That beat drop is iconic as hell, and the duet with Sousa and Flugel more so. Absolute perfection. The Ziggurat carries like hell. Gnarls is such a wonderful last quint, and what he adds to the song, such a cool sound and monster. It adds so much mystery to the song. So great. Tuskski is great, and I love how on both of the islands he's in, he duets with other monsters. Pretty fun. Edamimi is awesome, and she always is. Yes, even on Party. Rudy Toot and Krillby are a great duet, and yeah, a pretty great island. Even before the final update I enjoyed it, which is blasphemy, I know.
I'm working on it.
Now, here's the big one, and by big, I mean it. After not having a new island in a while, Ethereal Workshop really delivers. All 5 monsters here sound awesome. Let me just do a top mini 5. 5 is Meepkin. While it sounds awesome, it's mostly used for transitions. 4 is Blurrit. I like the automaton sound and he really shines throughout the ending. 3 is Gadzooks, a wonderful percussion monster that really helps to carry the island. Number 2 is Eureka. Awesome sound, really unique, and finally, my favorite so far is Ogler. What an ethereal sound. I can't get enough and it gives me goosebumps every time. This entire island, even with the first wave, sounds really damn good. Even with only 1 wave and 5 monsters, this island has wonderful potential, and I'm super excited to see where it's gonna go in the future. My only real problem is that it's a bit too repetitive, but otherwise, a total jam. Nice work, Big Blue Bubble. Once again, another island that has leaped into my enjoying arms ever since the Fire expansion update. Seriously, I cannot stress enough how much I adore this update, and I can't wait to see when more Amber Island monsters join in on the fun soon. This island is just very chipper and fun. I really like how it goes for a magical-ish sort of fairy tale book sort of theme. It's real cute, especially with the Clover Spell skin. That looks so damn pretty. What about the song? Oh, well, the percussion is great. Zigrab and Drumpler are fantastic. Hell, even the newly added Pong Ping works. Stog helps to carry, Fiddle is great, as well as the Dipsters. I adore Tusky and especially Krilby on this island. He sounds like an Ocarina of Time track, and that's adorable. I never thought a clavinet would work as an instrument on an island like this, but it works surprisingly. Not to mention, the sound and design of Bridget is genius. I love the unhinged nature of Cantorell. Kana has a pretty cute voice here, and Hippity Hop is pretty cool as beatboxers too. Still not as good as Shrub. I think that Squat is a very underrated monster, and his sound is great. I just wish he played more. But yeah, fun track that I listen to now and again, especially with this new update. Also, Krilby's dance in sync with Hippity Hop's voice is just so fucking cute. Anyways, bye!
This is a plant.
Ah, the classic Plant Island. What can be said that hasn't already been said? It's a masterpiece. It's great, it really is, even with all the new additions. I don't really want to go in depth as to why Plant Island is a banger, because it's been done to death, but if you haven't listened to it yet, please do, as well as the individual sounds. Moving on. What gives me the idea to put Air Island over all the other natural islands, not counting Tribal, if that even matters? Well, it's one simple reason. It's got S-tier percussion. Everything from the best wallbox in the entire franchise, along with the entire Schmoochelverse, along with the entire Schmoochelverse, Quibble being iconic, Pango, Kongle, Drumpler, Noggin, even though you can't hear him, T-Rox carrying the entire island, and even Scups. I adore how energetic he is on this island. Water as well. I never really gave Rebro the love he deserves. He's phenomenal on both the islands he's on, this and Ethereal. Honestly, the entire mech element is super slept on, it's criminal. The Dipsters are energetic and fun to listen to, Yostrich is fun too, Riff is an amazing quad, and, well, do I have to get into the wordos? What a duet, what an amazing chemistry, what great singing, and what fun lyrics! Sure, cheesy, but that just goes with all the other wordos, I guess. My only gripes are that the rare and epic wobboxes are too loud. Otherwise, phenomenal island and super underrated. Bowhead, my beloved. I'm sorry, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, what an island. What a glow up. I can't get enough of music that has tons of percussion, which is why I love Brazilian music so much. Shout out to you guys. Anyways, this entire island has such a hypnotic aura to it, and I can't get enough. Every new edition added something new. Boo Quirm, Edamimi, and Bowhead, my beloved. Notice how I didn't say Bisonorous. Well, I think that he works with long verses where his dum-diddly-dum-dums can flow, and if it plays during such a fast-paced island, it just doesn't work. Anyways, wait, where was I? Oh yeah, everything else works. This percussion is perfection. Periscope and Bowhead carry, and I love how Yuggler sounds, not to mention how he's the backbeat. The bonkers are so cool, and it's really interesting and unique to hear boomwhackers on an MSM island. The click-clacks of Tapricorn sound spectacular, and damn, I love the booming sounds of Poppet. It adds so much more oomph. My personal favorite quad is on this island, Galoptic, and Kana's dance is adorable, although my personal favorite part of this island was when almost every single monster plays and harmonizes in a euphoric, levitating verse. I love how some monsters take the high notes like Fangler, Rudy Toot, and Ruba, while others like Octopus and Bowhead take the low. Speaking of which, that duet with Ruba and Bowhead makes me coom! The Dipsters are also alright here. Kinda wish they weren't here, but oh well. I do like how they play during the huge part and they add more to the high notes. Oh well. An absolute banger that I can't get enough of.
Come on, let's go!
I adore this island so much. Tribal Island is so fast-paced and fun. Every single monster, and I mean every single monster, has something to offer. From Clamble and Pummel being amazing transition monsters, Bogart, Reedling, Riff, Quibble, Sponge, Toegermer, and Dandydoo being absolute wonderful atmosphere when need be, and Kongle, T-Rox, and Noggin being the absolute backbone of this island. Oh, yeah, Kana's entire part here, best Kana part ever. Also, Pom Pom and Kongle's duet here, so iconic, I can't get enough, just What a fun one. Even though it's usually a bitch to get into a tribe, please listen to this one too.
Wake up the Wublins, wake up the Wublins!
God damn, what a bop. Wublin Island is phenomenal. Every single monster has something to offer, from carrying, transitions, atmosphere, and all in between. I mean, except Blipsqueak. Fuck you, Blipsqueak. For legal reasons, that is a joke. My favorite Wublins are Poke, Pishalotl, Bon Appetit, Astropod, Crepuscule, Giger, Zinth, Dermot, Munculus, Thwok, Tempa, and Mulch! Hell, even the Wabox goes hard here. It's super bombastic and noisy, and that's what makes it so much more unique compared to the rest of the islands. It's also super catchy. Giger carries. I mean, once again, I don't really know what else I can add to the storm that hasn't already been said. Please, go listen to it. It's awesome. A real guilty pleasure of mine is Fire Oasis. I know that this island is repetitive, but damn, the vibes on this island are infectious and immaculate. It just has a certain groove to it that I can't explain. I think it's the mixture of Kongal, Snizer, and Willoughby. And an island that has Willoughby on it is personally a certified Monster World classic in my eyes. Speaking of Kongal, my personal favorite percussionist, although only on this in Tribal. This one is my favorite, all because he carries the entire island on his shoulders, and it's so entrancing to hear. I love the visuals on this island. The entire blown glass aesthetic looks so wonderful and pretty, and it allows for such a colorful and eye-popping look. It helps to stand out compared to the other islands. Oh, wait, Trouble too. How could I forget? What a spectacular monster, and it's about time we got a heart monster. When Trouble duets with Willoughby, one of my favorite sounds in the entire game. Speaking of which, this island has some phenomenal duets, from Waddle and Fangler giving us a high note, low note situation, and Tweedle and Glowl giving us kind of the same. I adore it so much. Literally my only problem with this island are Wink, Spirit, and Gobbledygourd, but I just mute them, and it's so chill and relaxing otherwise, fits me to a T. And I can keep on listening to this island over and over and never get tired of it. And don't even get me started when this island is slowed down.
You see here, Boo!
Oh, he's Ethereal!
An absolute classic, and for good reason. Almost every monster works here and has a role to play, from Rebo carrying his percussion, Gazed, Wisp, Humbug, and Geode being fantastic atmospheric monsters, and this island having the best tipsters in the entire franchise. Bellafish sounded great, even though you can barely hear him, which is sad, and everything in between. It's no wonder that that's been remixed in Playground, and what a phenomenal remix it really is. Just go listen to it. Without the Wubox, it just ruins it all. Also, Munculus, my beloved.
Cloudy, with a chance of
Monsters.
Easily my favorite Outer Island. Cloud Island is just so damn fun and catchy. The look of this island is so cool. It looks like an arts and crafts project with the origami birds and the clouds that look like plush toys. And how could I forget the paper mache sun? It's so colorful and fun. Not to mention the monsters on this island are divine. This island specifically has some of my favorite monster performances of the entire franchise. Rumble on Cloud Island is so energetic and atmospheric, and she really helps to carry the beginning of this island. Also, this is probably my favorite shell beat of the entire franchise as well. When he goes ham on the drums, interrupting Fangler, it is absolute magic, and I can't get enough of it. Cloud Island also has my favorite Willoughby and Snizer of the franchise. Both of them help immensely, as a catchy percussionist and a makeshift castle base respectively. Dromedary slaps hard on this island, as well as Krillby, even though you can barely hear the poor thing. This island has some phenomenal duos, such as Dandy-Doo and Octopus, and especially Onbrod and Tweedle. Ugh, I can go on and on as to why this island is so top tier, but must I? Just take a listen for yourself. I'll put my preferred version of the description. Shoutouts to Vado for mixing the audio to make every monster audible.
Magic.
Damn, Magical Sanctum is such a fun time. From the intro to the bridges to the main melody and everything in between. Every single monster plays when they need to, and every single one sounds more unique and more tribal than the last. It's crazy how Triple B made an entire island called Tribal Island, and yet Sanctum is the one that sounds more tribal to me than the one with tribal in the name. But yeah, every single monster here is pitch perfect. Zeister is an amazing melody monster. Chantling is such a powerful vocalist, and he makes his presence known. Mushaboom is such a phenomenal percussion monster that I'm surprised his back hasn't— oh wait, I already made that joke already. Y'all already know how I feel about Ostax. Such a kick-ass design, like a totem pole came to life, and easily one of the most sublime sounds in the entire monster world, and I can't get enough of it. Rorik is such an audacious and booming monster, and their voice is awesome. Knucklehead is such an awesome heartbeat for this island. Deja Jin sounds intimidating in all the coolest ways. Kahoot sounds adorable. Larvalus is so damn wonderful. Theramind is a great transition monster. The duet of Frondley and G'day is so iconic. Carrylong helps to carry the intro. Calacula is good percussion. Flutefly sounds so ancient and cool. And Flores is a great atmospheric monster. What can I say? Phenomenal island that I can't get enough of, as well as the Lunar New Year skin being absolute eye candy. Top tier.
My singing monsters.
Continental drift.
Ugh, man, what to say. The continent is the perfect island, and I mean it. Every single monster plays at the perfect time. They play the perfect notes, they play at the perfect length, they complement the perfect monsters that they need to. They all sound so perfect. I like to call this the Bohemian Rhapsody of My Singing Monsters, because it has so many different parts, 7 to note, and they all vary so much to one another. I love how ambitious this island is, having almost every single fire and natural monster, including one seasonal and hopefully more to come, all coming in to make a whopper of an island, being almost 3 whole minutes. Since there are so many monsters, I want to list my favorites. I'll just say their names, not what they do. My favorite monsters are Tiawa, Pom-Pom, and Cybop. I adore them as a trio, so iconic. Deej, Dromedary, Zigrab, Willoughby, Yelmid, Flugel, Kongol, Bogart, Rudy Toot, Ontbrot, Riff, Fwog, Kana, Shrub, Furcorn, Chorister, Flumox, Shelby, Rapatio, T-Rox, Krillby, Bisonosaurus, Sponge, Snizer, Punkelted, Reedling's Dog, and I can't get enough of how much he carries. Wink, surprisingly, and Fangler. Please listen to this island. What could be said about Starhenge that hasn't already been said? Every part goes together so wonderfully and doesn't usually outstay its welcome. Something about this island fascinates me. From the way you get the Celestials themselves, the sounds they make, their designs, the look on the island, and especially the melancholy lore of the fall of Starhenge and how Galvana tries her best to keep it alive. It's also existential to me. It gives me chills. It really does. Let me tell you how much I love the sounds of the Celestials. Yes, all 12 of them. I can't get enough of the booming presence that Tort has, the beautiful soothing hums of Galvana, except for the Rudy Toot part, but we'll get to that in a moment. The transcendent feeling that Skeletor and his cosmic wind sounds give me, the kick-ass sounds of Atmos's literal air guitar. I love how subtle Plixie sounds here. He blends right in my opinion. The beautiful realness of Hornicle, I just wish I could hear him more. I love how Furnos and Glacier make each other's feels complete, with Glacier filling in Furnos' empty notes, you know, the whole hot and cold thing, that's really genius. The clinkety-clankety sounds of Syncopate, the subtle beauty of Ludwig, the absolute perfection that is Bassoon. You can't forget the sound of Vamp. This amazing monster literally sounds heavenly and makes the second part of the island really pop. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a masterpiece and an island that I can listen to again and again and never, ever get tired of it. Big Blue Bubble, all I gotta say is, great job. You made one hell of an island. And that's my ranking. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video, and please feel free to check out the rest of my videos later on. Peace!